Now we will talk about colloidal solutions, right, or colloids, or we also call it as sols. Before this video lecture, we have understood that the size of the colloidal particles is between true solutions and that of suspensions, right, and the size of the colloidal particles is less than suspensions and more than true solutions, right, and the size is between 10 to the power of minus 9 meter and 10 to the power of minus 6 meter, right, or it's between 1 nanometer and 1000 nanometer, right. This is the size of the colloidal particles, right, and if the size is less than this, then it's a true solution. Then if it's more than 10 to the power of minus 6, then it's a suspension, right. And we have also understood that we have seen in the previous lecture that colloidal particles could not pass through the animal membrane, right, because of the size, because the size of the colloidal particles is bigger than that of true solutions, so these particles cannot pass through the semi-permeable membrane, right. Now in this video lecture we will just go through more about colloidal systems or colloidal solutions, right. Now in chapter solutions we are introduced to true solutions, right, and we know that a true solution is formed when a solute is added to a solvent, right, and here the size of the solute particles would be less than 1 nanometer or less than 10 to the power of minus 9, right. I have mentioned it over here. For true solutions, the particle size is less than 10 to the power of minus 9 or less than 1 nanometer, right. Now true solution is formed from solute and your solvent, right, and here size of the particles is 10 to the power of minus 9, less than 10 to the power of minus 9 or less than 1 nanometer, right. And what more we know about true solution is that true solution will form a homogeneous mixture. By homogeneous mixture we mean the properties of the solution will remain same throughout, right. The properties of the true solution is same throughout. That is, if you have a true solution, right, if this is a true solution, say salt in water, right, water is a solvent, this is a solute, right, so this is a homogeneous mixture. When we say homogeneous mixture, the properties of this solution will remain same from top to bottom, right. If you take the sample from bottom, from middle or from the top, you will notice that the properties will remain same, right. Now when we talk about colloidal solutions, right, one thing is clear now, that in case of colloidal solutions the size of the particles, right, would be more than that of true solutions, right, and we know that the size of the particles in case of true solutions is between 10 to the power of minus 9 to 10 to the power of minus 6, right. And here in case of in case of colloidal solutions, we will replace the word solute with your dispersed phase, right, dispersed phase, and solvent, the name of the solvent or the solvent, the word solvent would be replaced by dispersion medium, right, dispersion medium, right. So one thing now, the solute in case of colloidal solutions or colloids, solute word would be replaced by dispersed phase and solvent would be replaced by dispersion medium, right. So just like solute, right, is distributed in solvent, right, so in case of colloidal solutions, this dispersed phase is distributed in dispersion medium, right, in the form of colloidal particles, right, whose size ranges between 10 to the power of minus 9 to 10 to the power of minus 6, right, as simple as that. So how will you define dispersed phase? Dispersed phase is defined as a substance, right, that is distributed in your dispersion medium in the form of colloidal particles, right. So this is distributed, or this is distributed in your dispersion, I'll just write it as dp as dispersion medium, right, in the form of colloidal particles. And what is dispersion medium? Dispersion medium is defined as a medium in which substance is dispersed, right, in this dispersion medium in which substance is dispersed, right, in the form of colloidal particles, right. So it's very simple. Dispersed phase is defined as a substance which is distributed in dispersion medium in the form of colloidal particles, and dispersion medium is a substance in which dispersed phase, right, is distributed, or dispersion medium is the medium in which the colloidal particles or the dispersed phase is distributed, right. This is dispersed phase is distributed in dispersion medium, and dispersion medium is in which the substance is dispersed in the form of colloidal particles, right. So now we know three things, or we know two things about colloidal solutions, that we have dispersed phase in it and dispersion medium, right. And dispersed phase is dispersed phase is nothing but solute. It's similar to solute in true solutions, right. And how this dispersed phase is different from solute only in the size of the particles. Size of the particles in case of dispersed phase is more than that of solute in true solutions, right. And dispersion medium is a medium in which these particles, colloidal particles, are distributed, right. So this is clear. Now we said that true solution is a homogeneous mixture, right. The size of the particles are very small, so they are completely distributed from top to bottom in the liquid solvent, right. So now when we talk about your colloidal solutions, in case of colloidal solutions, we have, colloidal solutions are not homogeneous mixture, right. So this is how they differ from true solutions. Colloidal solution is a heterogeneous mixture, right. And we know that heterogeneous mixture is a mixture that has two phases, right. You can easily see the two phases, right, in case of heterogeneous mixtures. So here the two phases are dispersed phase and your dispersion medium, right. So we say that colloids are heterogeneous mixture, right, consisting of two phases. Two phases are consisting of two phases, which are dispersed phase and your dispersion medium, right. So now what are colloids, or what are colloidal solutions, right. So we know these three things mainly. Colloidal solutions consist of a dispersed phase and a dispersion medium, and these are heterogeneous mixture, right, which consist of two phases, right, which is your dispersed phase and your dispersion medium, right. And dispersed phase is nothing but these are particles that are distributed in your dispersion medium, right, whose whose size ranges from 10 to the power of minus 9 to 10 to the power of minus 6, right. So this is about your colloidal solutions. So depending on the type of, going forward we would be doing this depending on what is your dispersion medium, right. And dispersion medium we have understood is same as solvent in case of true solutions, right, in which the particles are distributed, right. Colloidal particles are distributed in dispersion medium. If this dispersion medium is your water, the name of the colloid would be aquasol or hydrosol. Hydrosol is from aqua, or hydra means water, right. So if dispersion medium is water, we call it a aquasol or hydrosol. If the dispersion medium is your alcohol, we call it alkosol. If it's benzene, it's benzosol. If it's gas, if the dispersion medium is gas, then we call it a aerosol. Gases, the example is smoke, right, where the particles, smoke particles are dispersed in air, right. Air is gas, so that's your aerosol, right, where the dispersed phase is your solid, right. So smoke and dust is an example of aerosol, right. So most common colloids in this chapter, firstly the most common colloids are sols, gels and emulsions, right. Sols are when your dispersed phase is solid and your dispersion medium is liquid, solids in liquids, this is your sol. And gels that we normally use, the gels is where liquid is dispersed in solids, so right, solid is your dispersion medium. So here the liquid particles are dispersed in solid, what we get is gels. And we have emulsions. Emulsions are where liquid is dispersed in liquid, right, where both dispersed phase and dispersion medium is liquid, what we get is emulsions. In this chapter we would be dealing more with sols and emulsions in detail, right. And just like we have talked about, we have classified true solutions, right, based on the physical state of solute and solvent. And we know that the physical state of solute can be solid, liquid or gas, and the physical state of solvent can be solid, liquid or gas, right, in case of true solutions that we did in the first chapter, solutions, right. So based on the physical state of solute and solvent, there were 9 types of solutions. Solutions were classified into 9 types. Similarly, whatever is the physical state of solute and solvent, right, the solution in case of the true solution that we get is always a homogeneous mixture, right, it's always homogeneous. Now when we talk about colloidal solutions, right, in case of colloidal solutions, same as in true solutions, depending on the physical state of dispersed phase and your dispersion medium, right. Here we have studied that dispersed phase can be solid, liquid or gas, right. In case of smoke, the dispersed phase is your solid, right, and your dispersion medium is your gas, air, right. So it's a colloidal solution or sol. Similarly, based on the physical state of dispersed phase, which can be solid, liquid or a gas, and dispersion medium, which can be a solid, liquid or a gas, we have 8 type of colloidal solutions, right. Why not 9 as in true solutions? Because we know that when a gas mixes with a gas, right, it's the two gases completely mix with one another, right, and it forms only a single phase. Mixture the mixture of two gases is always a single phase mixture, right? So it can never be a heterogeneous mixture, right? Since it's a homogeneous mixture, the mixture of two gases is always a homogeneous mixture, and we know that homogeneous mixture is always a true solution. It can't be a colloidal solution. So that is why we have only 8 type of colloidal solutions, right? Because gas and a gas cannot form a colloidal solution. It will always form a true solution, because gases always form a homogeneous mixture, not a heterogeneous mixture, and we know that colloidal part system or a colloidal solutions are always a heterogeneous mixture consisting of two phases, right? So let's look at some examples. If the dispersed phase is a solid, say, and let's take dispersion medium. If the dispersion medium is a solid, then what colloidal solutions we get? Colored glasses. In colored glasses, solid is dispersed in solid. Similarly, gemstones, that colored gemstones that we get, there also the dispersed phase and dispersion medium is a solid, right? Now if the dispersion medium is a liquid, the paints that we get in the market, those are colloidal solutions where solid is dispersed in liquid, right? Solid is your dispersed phase and liquid is your dispersion medium, right? Paints, cell fluids, muddy water, all these are colloidal solutions of dispersed, where dispersed phase is solid and dispersion medium is liquid. Similarly, if dispersion medium is a gas, we have discussed smoke and dust is an example of colloidal solutions where dispersed phase is a gas and dispersed phase is solid, right? Smoke, and your dispersion medium is a gas, so smoke and dust. Similarly, if dispersed phase is a liquid, right, and dispersion medium is solid, we have cheese, butter, jellies, right, where dispersion medium is a solid, and where dispersion medium is liquid, so here dispersed phase and dispersion medium is a liquid. So the example is milk, right? Milk, hair cream, right? So there both the dispersed and dispersion medium are liquid. Milk is a very common example where both the mediums are liquid, right? Similarly, if liquid is dispersed in gas, as in case of fog, mist, cloud, right, where liquid like water vapor is dispersed in air, so what we get is fog or mist. Similarly, dispersed phase is gas and dispersion medium is your solid. Pumice stone, we know it used to remove the dead skin, right, that we get normally in the market is a pumice stone that is used to remove the dead skin from the. So pumice stone and foam rubber is an example of where their dispersed phase is a gas and dispersion medium is a solid. Similarly, if dispersed phase is a gas and dispersion medium is a liquid, we get froth and cream. Froth, you know what is a froth, right? In froth, we have the gas is dispersed in your liquid, right? So this is all. We are almost done with the classification, right? So, right, and there is one more example, soap lather. The soap lather is also where gas is dispersed in. Soap lather is where gas is dispersed in your liquid, right? That will result into lather, soap lather. So these are examples, right? So just go through all this once, right, and make sure you understand the concept of dispersed phase and dispersion medium, right? Dispersed phase, just remember that dispersed phase is same as solute in case of true solution, and dispersion medium is same as your solvent in case of true solutions, right? And the difference is that dispersed phase in case of colloidal solutions, the size of the dispersed phase is bigger than that of your solute in case of true solution, and size is here, right, between 10 to the power of minus 9 and 10 to the power of minus 6 meter, right? And colloidal solution is a heterogeneous mixture which consists of two phases, right? So, and homogeneous mixture is your true solution because it consists of only one phase, right? So here we have two phases, and colloids are always a heterogeneous mixtures. That is why we have 8 types of colloidal solutions, not 9 types as in true solutions, because gases, when they mix, they will always form a true solution that consists of only one phase, right? And depending on the dispersion medium, what dispersion medium we have, we can give names to our colloidal solutions. Like if your dispersion medium is water, we call the colloidal solution as aquasol or hydrosol, right? So this is it, and mainly we will deal with salts and emulsions in this chapter, right? So I hope all this is clear to you. Thanks.